Hey guys, it's Tuesday morning. Just finished uploading my previous video. Um, Gonna carry on from where I left off. I was on the bumper when I ended that one. Uh, I'm gonna get on a little bit of some of the rubber that goes on this thing, seals and whatnot. Um, I learned something today, and anytime you learn something, it's a good day. Also, there was something I forgot to point out when I was doing the heater hose in the last video. There is an inline control valve so that you can shut the water off going to the heater so that your heat isn't on all the time. I've been looking around for like a factory style one that's cable operated. They're like $200 US, plus shipping and blah 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 blah. So ridiculous price. I'm not paying that. There's no chance. Not for a valve. So I've been looking around to see if I can find something else or a cheaper alternative. Until I find one, I'm not going to say anything else about it. But one is going to go on there, whether it's just a manual one. If it's warm outside, open the hood and turn a valve off, and that's it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I guess we might as well just get right to it. Okay, so I believe that this is going to be my inlet hose. This will be the one that the valve goes on, and it's just a shut off. So like I said, when I find one, I'll put it in. I can cut this anytime I want and put it in at any location. The cable one's probably not going to happen. I think I might just go with a manual one in summertime. This thing's going to be summer driven almost all the time anyway. I mean, it's not going to be driven in the winter for sure, but in the fall or in the spring, sometimes it's a little cool, so you may want to have some heat on. And I'm not sure how much heat is actually coming out of that thing without the blower motor on, but we'll see during test drive, and I'll figure it out. But yeah, when I get one, we'll put her in if needed. So there you go. So the next thing I was talking about was rubbers. Now this is the hood to cowl seal, and it comes with these clips here. And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, how the hell does this go together? There's no instructions or anything with any of this stuff, but all the rubber from Bill's Truck Shop comes from this outfit called Precision. And so I Googled it with the cowl seal, and boom, first video that comes up is from Precision, and they tell you how it goes on. So I'm just going to relay that same information to you and save you one extra trip to the Google kingdom. And you can check it. I'm sure that they have a video probably on every single rubber that they have, and there's a ton of it on this truck. So I'll probably be checking out a bunch of them. But real simple stuff. We'll go ahead and we'll get this in. Okay, so it doesn't get any simpler than this. There's two pieces of rubber, one on each side, and this rib in the center here. You can see how it's got a little rib in it. That fits in this little trough right here, and you see there's holes. There's 4 of them, and there happens to be four clips on each side. So in this case there's only 3 because I had changed that piece when I did this, fix this corner here, so I'll probably have to drill a hole, but whatever. Yeah, so all you do basically, these clips, like I'm trying to figure out a way that things snap together or whatever. Basically, they just go on like so, screw through the top, and you flip this over, and it goes, you screw it through until it starts coming through the rubber, and then line it up to the hole. So it says the first one, which is at the center of well, just below the center of the windshield, say to start about a 1/2 inch in, and get that one in place, and then carry on from there. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so got my hole drilled. This is what happened to the first bit. So yeah, scratched the paint a little bit, but fortunately for me, it's under the rubber, so it won't show. Stop it. Okay, we'll just cut off the excess with a knife. That's it. You can see how it's kind of dimpled here. Well, where the screws go, there's a dimple in the firewall or in the cowl, and the idea being that the metal is lower than the plane of the rubber, so the hood doesn't actually touch the metal; it only touches the rubber. So that's fine. A little crude looking, but that's the way it is, and that's what it's supposed to look like, according to the website. All right, so I cleaned off most of this bench because I want to use it to assemble my windshield and get it prepped for installation. But I'm going to finish the bumper off first. So I finished cleaning it up, and got it nice and shiny around the holes so you can weld them up. Because again, these are for the Ford original Ford brackets that this bumper came off of. The Chevy brackets holes are in different locations, so these all four of them have to be welded up. And there was a dent here, a little kink right here, and I was able to use my a big ass hammer and my railway track anvil and pound her out. So it's pretty good. I cleaned up the inside with a wire brush wheel just to get the heavy crud off. So yeah, after I weld it up, I'll get some epoxy on it, seal it up, and it'll be ready to bodywork in a day, and I should have my bumper brackets in by then. So good to go. All right, so all I'm doing here, instead of just filling the whole hole or the complete hole with weld, I got a 1/2 inch bolt, and I got vice grips just holding it in place so it's flush-ish on the inside. And I'll tack it in place, remove the vice grips, finish welding it, weld it on the other side, cut the bolt off, and do the same thing on the next hole. So yeah, it just saves on welding and that kind of thing. So there you go. And when I get them all done, well, we'll move on. All right, so I filled all the holes in the bumper, cleaned up the welds, everything's good, inside and out. So there we go. This is ready for epoxy. What I'm probably going to do is just mix a little bit up and brush it on. Pretty much the whole bumper needs to be skimmed anyhow, so there's a fair amount of pitting. So yeah, I'll just brush it on. But for now, I'm just going to put it aside, and I've cleaned off the bench, and I put my windshield rubber in place. So it's sitting there, it's ready to go. I've got the glass out here, so I'm going to put the glass in the rubber, and then we're going to use some 1/4 inch rope. I'm going to get that in there too. I'm not going to be able to put it in because obviously I'm going to need an extra pair of hands, and there's nobody around, so but I'll get it prepped anyway and ready to go in the opening. All right, so again, I did check out the video for this from Precision, and just going to follow what they did. Basically, right now the front or the exterior is laying on the table, on the blanket, and going to fit the glass into each piece on each side. They tell you to start with the center, the straight piece. So start with the center. And you just got to kind of manhandle this thing in here. Start the bottom edge and then sort of roll it on. Come on. Glasses, glasses, glasses. Always put the glasses on. There we go. So much easier when you can see. Okay. Two sides. There we go. All right, do the same thing with the other piece. And then the tricky stuff comes. Hey, so the next, I worked a sweat out getting this one in. It's a little more difficult getting the second one than the first one. You're kind of fighting with it, but whatever, it's in. So you take 1/4 inch rope in the first groove here on the inside. That's your rope groove. So you just want to get it in there all the way around the whole window. Leave yourself a bit of slack for pulling. Now you can use a tool for this. They make a tool. It's not that difficult. Just squeeze it in there. Now you'll notice there's a fair amount of movement in this rubber here. We take care of that when we go to put the window in the opening using tape. But that'll be in the next video. I'll just keep on doing what I'm doing here. Stole the rope that I used to tie my dog up, so she already chewed through it twice already anyway, so wasn't a very good rope for her. I think you got the idea here. Finish up just a little bit more. Anyway, I'll keep working that in, and when it's all in, I'll show you what we got. Okay, so I've got my rope in all the way around. It's one piece. There, I'll give you a close-up. That's your... So basically what this is going to do is when you put the window in place, this is going to be on the outside of the pinch weld around the window, which is, you know, this edge right here. That's pinch weld. They call it pinch weld because it's two pieces pinched together and spot welded. So when the window is sitting there, when you pull the rope up, it'll flip this edge over and come on this side of the pinch weld. So then the pinch weld will fit right inside that groove where the rope is. So that's what we got, and it's ready to go in the hole. So when I get somebody here, when we go to put it in, like I said, I'm going to caulk. You got to seal the outside edge that sits on the outside of the cab. Tape the piece of rubber in place so it doesn't, you know, do this stuff and this stuff. And then, yeah, two-man operation, get the windshield installed. So that'll be in the next video. Check it out when I do it. All right, so there you go. The windshield's ready to go in the hole. I think what we've done on the windshield is actually the hardest part. To me, from what I saw, and I've seen this done before with the rope, so it doesn't look like rocket science to me. It looks pretty simple, pretty hard to miss as long as you got, you know, an extra pair of hands there to give you a hand. You can't do it by yourself. It just, you're looking for trouble. So, like my dad used to say, don't go looking for trouble, boy, because you will find it. And he was right. Yeah, so we're moving right along. Got a bunch of things done again, and we're just going to keep on rolling, man. Once the windshield's in place and I get my wiring tidied up, you know, I can go ahead and put a good chunk of the interior together. So there's that, and there's all kinds of things around it, you know, mirrors, some extra trim pieces. I can get the hood on for good. the wipers and all that stuff. So this opens up a whole bunch of new things I can get done and get crossed off the list. So yeah, if you like what you're seeing and you like the content, please subscribe. I surely would appreciate it. Tell your buddies and your friends and all that stuff, and help spread the word. And don't be shy. Leave comments down below. I enjoy the comments. And you guys are really quick to tell me when I've done something wrong or I missed something or whatever. And I do. I'm only human. Or I just forgot to mention something like that. Heat control valve. Like I said, I'm not willing to spend that kind of money on a friggin' valve. That's bullshit. I'm not doing it. So I'm going to come up with something else, something cheaper, something easier. I mean, this thing's probably going to be, not working, not on. They won't need to heat 99% of the time that they're out in this thing. It's a nice weather, it's a fair weather vehicle. So, but they got to have heat, you got to have defrost. So that's the way it is. Anyway, yeah, moving right along. So we'll catch you in the next video. If you're not doing anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.